So I went to the B&H Build Expo a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty awesome. I have to say that B&H did an amazing job, and they had like a ton of people there. Everybody was there: Nikon, Canon, Fujifilm, all these different brands, Westcott. Even Hasselblad and Leica had a booth. So they did a tremendous job. I have to give them some credit. And I met some of you there, some people who like the channel, like Danny, who I told I'd give a shout out. So it was good meeting you. And of course, I happened upon the Fuji booth and I spent quite a bit of time there. And I gotta say, Fuji, their booth, first of all, was awesome. They had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of cameras, and really a lot of new stuff. And there was people there all weekend long, or I should say all 2 days long. It was kind of in the middle of the week. But for both days, every time I passed by the Fuji booth, it was like packed. And so I tried out some of the new stuff. I didn't try the X1/2, but I know it was there somewhere. I just missed it. But I got my hands on a GFX 100 RF, and I was really blown away by how small and light it is. It seems like a really great camera. So I'm going to try and snag one of those for review, just to borrow from my friends at B&H. So I'll let you know about that. And then the other camera that I spent the most time just playing with at the booth, because everything was tethered, you know, it was like connected to their tables, which I get, was the XE5. And at first I thought, man, this isn't really something that interests me. However, after using it and just playing around with it, I have to say that it's made very, very well. I was impressed with the build quality. I was impressed with the machining of it. It's really nice and clean. It's a nice little piece of kit, I gotta say. So I played around with that a little bit. And of course, with interchangeable lenses, for me, I like that better than, say, a X100 series camera where I'm just stuck with one lens. So I get it if you like that, but for me, I always want to have an interchangeable lens. So I was actually really impressed with that camera as well. Okay, but that's not the point of this quick video. The point of this is that I want to just kind of like throw it out there to my friends at Fujifilm. And I think sometimes they watch my videos. I don't know for sure, but I think sometimes they watch these videos. So I'm going to just express some of what I heard from other Fujifilm users, my buddy Danny that I met included, about what we're kind of looking for those of us who are really invested in the brand. Now, I know nothing about marketing a camera company, and I know nothing about why Fuji decides to release certain cameras at certain times. And I think it's so easy for us as armchair quarterbacks to kind of like judge their play-by-play. And I get that, and we all do it. However, I'm trying to avoid that because we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so there might be a camera that Fuji releases that you're like, why did they release this? I know a lot of you have expressed that sentiment to me with some of the cameras they've released lately, like even the X100 RF or the X1/2, whatever it's called. Some people have been like, I don't get it. Why are they releasing these cameras? And so what I've said to those people is, well, probably they need to sell those cameras to give people like us the cameras that we want. Now, do I know if that's true or not? No, not at all. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I can tell you what I'm looking for in Fujifilm. So I think that Fuji has gone through the mill over the past year with its users, and some of us creators too have given them a lot of flack for certain things where we feel like they've dropped the ball. Autofocus. However, I have to tell you that my X-T5 has been one of the best cameras I've ever used, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I use it pretty much every day. Now, I'm still using my Canon gear. If you follow my channel, I'm a Canon guy as well, so my Canon R5 is still kind of my mainstay camera. However, I use the Fuji gear for a lot of my portrait work and also for a lot of my concert work. And I think it has a place in my ecosystem. But here's what I want from you, Fujifilm. So if anyone with any clout is listening, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, because there's a lot of people who have sort of echoed this to me in comments, and people I've met and people who've messaged me, whatever. I want to see an X Pro 4 already. Like, that is something that I am really excited about. So the X Pro 4 with the 40 megapixel X-Trans 5 sensor, I think would be amazing with better autofocus and kind of like ditch that weird screen, go back to a better kind of screen. But that would be something that I know shooters like myself would love. That's one thing that I'm really interested in. An X Pro 4, kind of taking the best of the X-T5 and the XH2 line and putting it into that new camera, rangefinder style camera. I think that would be a solid, huge win for Fujifilm. Now, the other thing that I want to see, I've talked about this in a previous video, is an X Pro 6. No, I'm sorry, XT6 is what I meant to say. I would love to see an XT6 that really brings some more balance to the build quality, gives us back a grip, gives us a little bit more that people who were disappointed with the XT5 would like to see. Now, the XH2 line, I still feel like, for me personally, the XH2 over the 2S is the camera that I feel is the better bang for the buck. I like the higher megapixels. I know a lot of people went kind of loopy with the 40 megapixel sensor. It's been good to me. I don't know. I think it's freaking awesome. And I've made some of my favorite images over the last 3 years with the XT5. And I had an XH2 for a while that B&H Photo loaned me. And I made some beautiful images with that camera as well. I love the handling, loved everything about it. So I don't know where they go with that. I think that just improving upon that series, fine. I think it makes sense. I still feel like a good sort of, if you're using multiple cameras, I know a lot of you are using an XT5 and an XH2 or a 2S. I think that's cool. But I think we just need to see Fuji throw us a bone on the Pro line. That's what I'm getting at with this ranting, ridiculous video. I feel that we've seen a lot of cameras come out recently from Fuji. They're pushing the boundaries. They're making cool cameras. They're making stuff that definitely will sell and is selling. It looks like they're doing well with the sales part of it. However, remember, my friends at Fujifilm, that there are dedicated professional photographers like myself who are very heavily invested in your gear, and we would love to see the next iteration of those pro level cameras. The X Pro camera series, the XT camera series, and I even would love to see the next iteration of the XH series cameras, even if it's different, because I know people kind of went a little crazy when they separated the XT and the XH line instead of having it all in one. I get that. I kind of was disappointed in some ways with that too. But I think they've done a pretty good job of creating cameras that are able to suit a variety of people's needs. However, in 2025, we're almost up to 2026, I think that most of us who are using the cameras professionally are just jonesing for the next iteration of those cameras. So let me know what you think in the comments. Where are you at with Fuji when it comes to, what you'd like them to see them release this year? I haven't been watching the Fuji rumor mill either, so I don't know what they've been saying. So maybe they're talking about some of these things. But I've been so busy with work and with life and with family and all of that I haven't paid any attention to that. But I wanted to jump on and do this quick video just to get that out there, see what y'all thought. And yeah, so thanks as always. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, do all that good stuff. It definitely helps me to make more videos, to be more dedicated to this channel. I would love to do this every single day, but you all need to get me to 100,000 subs before I can even think about doing that. So help me out. All right, have a great day, everyone. Peace.